Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Man, it's Cowboys week. This is an exciting time to be a Packer fan. Obviously, a big matchup as the Green Bay Packers travel down to the Big D to take on the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. You've got the storyline of Micah Parsons. It's going to be, that's going to be the headline all week long. So just really, really excited to watch football on Sunday all day and then wrap the entire day of football up with this huge matchup between the Packers and the Cowboys. We're going to be doing an extensive deep dive tonight. We're going to roll out what we call the game plan. We'll do a little PFF preview. We'll keep an eye on the betting line. We'll give you all the injury updates, all of that stuff. But that's not the purpose of this video. I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the national buzz around the Packers-Cowboys matchup. Before we do, if you will, let's do that YouTube stuff. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning in to PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your afternoon. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We are we're not media members. We're just fans like you in here talking Packers on the daily, breaking down the tape, doing pregame shows, postgame shows, pretty much daily content around your Green Bay Packers and their upcoming opponent. In the offseason, we do draft coverage, the whole 9 yards. So if you're looking for daily Packers content, make sure you click subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. I see everybody following in the chat. Respect Oranges, what's up? Orlando Robinson, hopefully y'all are having a great day. Just going to be a quick little stream here. I wanted to highlight this, what was said on First Take earlier today. You guys know Stephen A. Smith is the ultimate Cowboys troll, but obviously the headline of the week here is Micah Parsons returning to Dallas. So let's see what Micah had to say. Let's see what Jerry Jones had to say, and then we'll hear Stephen A. Smith give his take on this game. Here we go. Again, this is from First Take on ESPN earlier this morning.
Sunday night as the Packers visit the Cowboys. Let's hear from both Micah and Jerry on the matchup.
It's gonna be painful. You know what I mean? Dak's my guy. He was always like a good mentor for me. But you know what it is. I always told him if I ever faced him that, it'll be a great matchup. So I'm excited to see what Sunday brings us. So
Jerry, do you feel any extra competitive drive to win this week with Micah Parsons coming back?
Yes, I do. I've said this time and time again. I think the world of Micah as an individual, and of course, know him well. But and I might say I wish him well, except it's obvious I don't this weekend in terms of Green Bay winning the ball game.
So obviously nothing really too toxic there, right, between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones, other than the fact that I love Micah's response. I was a little concerned about this. You guys know last week he was kind of running that mouth a little bit, talking about how they were going to hunt down Joe Flacco, right? Listen, the defense did their job, but you still don't come away with the dub. You'd like everybody to stay a little quiet. I love the fact that he kind of paid a compliment to Dak Prescott and saying, hey, he was a mentor when I came into the league type thing. And then, of course, Jerry Jones, I love that he's not holding back. Jerry is being real about it. Like, yeah, absolutely, we want to beat him, right? So I think it's going to be a fun matchup. Let's see what Stephen A. Smith, the number one Cowboys troll, had to say about Micah Parsons returning to Dallas to face Jerry Jones's Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Doggy is
lying to his teeth. I was just about to say the same thing. He lied his ass. You don't believe Doggy for one second. He's going to be glued to that TV Sunday night. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing is, it's important because it's going to highlight the deficiencies in the Dallas Cowboys and what an annihilation I believe is coming their way. You know what? CeeDee Lamb being hurt, you understand? And Dak Prescott having his primary weapon out with a defense that's just not going to be able to stop anybody. Micah is going to be hunting. And you understand? And I'm telling you, and I can't wait to see it. Now, unlike Doggy, who gets, got a little bit soft because of the letter.
Keep hearing him say Doggy. He's talking about Mad Dog Russo, okay? So that's obviously – he had a big rant. I cut that out. Just wanted to play Stephen A's rant here.
with Wellington Mara. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I had the pleasure, thanks again to Nancy Lieberman and her foundation. They gave me the Lifetime Achievement Award this past weekend, and a surprise presenter was the one and only Jerry Jones. And I was very, very touched by my buddy Jerry presenting me with that honor. I really appreciate it. It doesn't stop me, though, from pointing out what need to be pointed out. And that is an annihilation is coming. I'm expecting an ass kicking to show up Sunday. I'm expecting Micah Parsons to roll up in there. And matter of fact, when you remember when he got his first sack of the season against Jared Goff, chased him down and then just stood up there and pointed like for a second? Sunday night, he's going to be pointing at Jerry. He knows where that suite is. He knows where Jerry's going to be sitting. And he's going to be right there. He's going to be pointing at him a lot. Sunday night, he's coming. And Dak Prescott is going to get ready to absorb some punishment because them brothers hunting. They coming for him.
All right. So obviously Jerry Jones, Stephen A. Smith is much more confident than I am. Listen, I think the Packers are going to win this ball game. I feel confident in saying that, but boy, oh boy, is Stephen A. Smith way more confident than I am. He thinks it's going to just be a dog walk, a boat race, whatever you want to call it. You can't rule anybody out in this league, right? So let's just take a quick glance at what the numbers show, okay? And listen, we're going to keep this very surface level. Again, we're doing a very extensive deep dive tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live, along with the injury report. So make sure you tune into that for all of the detailed analysis. But just on the surface here, right? He talked about CeeDee Lamb being injured. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how Jake Ferguson might end up being his number one target now. You've also got George Pickens. He's a factor, right? We'll show you how the Packers cornerbacks match up against Dallas as well. But on the surface here, offense, let's talk about scoring, okay? Offense points per play. The Green Bay Packers are 15th. The Dallas Cowboys are 16th. Again, this is points per play. I think it's the most important offensive metric you can have when you're trying to determine how good a team is offensively. The Packers, like I said, coming in 15th at .374. The Dallas Cowboys right behind them at .359. So the offenses, in terms of the success they've had this year in scoring points, pretty neck and neck right there, right? Pretty darn even, if you ask me. So let's go to defense. Defense points per play allowed. Green Bay, guys, second in the entire National Football League at a .235 points per play allowed. The Dallas Cowboys, 29th, allowing .500 points per play. Basically meaning, if I'm understanding the metric completely here and there's no extra noise added, if you're averaging a half of a point per play, it's exactly what it sounds like. So how many offensive plays can you run to run up that score, right? We're going to also talk about how controlling the clock and maybe trying to force the run could help the Packers come out victorious here, as opposed to just, hey, let's wing it all over the yard, because they've got a very, very bad pass defense. Again, however many points you run against Dallas, let's say, or how many plays you run against Dallas, let's say you're able to run, and I don't know what a good number is. Let's say you can squeeze off 70 plays, right? By this metric, it's simply saying the Cowboys are on pace to give up 35 points in that game. You really like the Packers' chances if they can score 30-plus points, especially with the way their defense is playing. As you can see here, Green Bay being second best in the league. Now, listen, Dallas, typically you say, wow, they got a pretty powerful offense. They're missing their number one target in CeeDee Lamb. They're also missing Beebe. I believe that was their starting center, I believe it was. And now they're saying, I'm trying to think of who the other offensive lineman that they're going to be missing, that I want to say they got him from Georgia. I think it's Booker, right? Tyler Booker, I believe, is the other player that's missing. We'll break down all the injury report later tonight. But they're without a lot of players. And the fact that you now have Micah, you can see what happened to their defense when they lost Micah Parsons. They went from kind of middle of the pack to 29th in the league, albeit through 3 games. Really like Green Bay's chances of winning this ball game. I'm going to tell you what I think is probably the most important statistic we're going to cover here, and that is turnover differential. Green Bay is tied for 11th best in the league at a plus 0.3 turnover differential. And you guys know the differential, or also known as the turnover margin, is with the turnover margin, it's how many times you give the ball away, how many times do you take the ball away. So the Packers are on the positive end of that, and they're borderline top 10, right outside of the top 10 at a plus 0.3 turnover differential. The Dallas Cowboys, they are tied for 31st. That's worst in the league at a negative 1.7 turnover margin. Okay. So what that means is they are losing the ball 1.7 times more than they're taking the ball away, if that makes sense. So it should tell you essentially that the Packers have a really, really good shot of having 2 extra possessions there just simply off the turnover differential when you tally up the plus 0.3 of Green Bay and the minus 1.7 of Dallas. So you couple that with the fact that you're going to have extra possessions, most likely, right? At least the metrics suggest that. You got to go out there and do it. That goes without saying. The Packers could go out and lay an egg. We all know that. Dallas could come out and play the best game of the season, maybe never reach that peak again for the rest of the season. We all know that's possible. So simply what we've seen so far in a 3-week NFL season. You take all that into account, guys. Green Bay having the second best defense, them having the 15th best offense. The offense, let's just call it a push. Offense versus offense, we'll call it a push. Our defense, compared to their defense, it's not even close. Second best scoring defense, 29th best scoring defense. Turnover differential, 11th best turnover differential in Green Bay. Dallas 31st. You really like Green Bay's chances as it sits right now. I believe the Packers are 7.5-point favorites unless that line's changed. We'll give you those updated numbers tonight on PTA Live as well. I see everybody in the chat. I'm just going to kind of go through real quick and see if we can pick a couple of these out, see what everybody's saying here. Respect Orange just says Dak Hunt. I like it. I like it, man. We will see how it goes, though, right? It'll be very, very interesting to see how everything unfolds. Joe says, I don't know why y'all people think it's going to be a blowout. Y'all forgetting conservative coach. We got up 2 scores. It'll be run, pass, 3 scores, run, run, run. So listen, I agree with that philosophy, Joe, me personally. There's no reason to go out there and put anything extra on tape or try to throw the pedal to the floor and then make a couple mistakes, throw a couple interceptions. That bit us in the ass against Cleveland, right? Being too aggressive when you looked up and said, you got a 7-point lead. They haven't been able to move the ball all day. Hey, let's run the rock here. If you can't get 3 yards, punt that thing away and see if Joe Flacco could take them the length of the field. Instead, you get too aggressive. You call a pass play. You throw an interception, short field. They score, tie it up. Next thing you know, you're getting a field goal block. So, yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Matt LaFleur chooses to play this. Boz says, yes, middle of the day random cast. Appreciate you, Boz. Thank you for swinging through, buddy. Let's see. Max Curley makes a great point. I don't remember the last time we lost 2 back-to-back. I want to say we did it last year, Max. I could be wrong. I know we did it the year before because we went on a stint where we lost several games. It was like 2 out of 3, or I'm sorry, maybe like 3 out of 4, something like that. But, yeah, you like your chances here with the way everything is shaping up for the Packers. J. Cole says Rashawn Gary is coming. Edge Cooper is coming. LVN is coming. X is coming. Evan Williams is coming. You didn't even mention Micah Parsons, right? Listen, Rashawn Gary off to an awesome start, man. Awesome start here in 2025. Joe said, tight ends no longer concern me with Cooper. By the end of last season, he had it down in coverage. And, Quay as well, Joe. Quay Walker struggles underneath, right? Attacking the underneath routes, the curl flat type of responsibilities, swing passes, things like that, and then diagnosing the run play and that start, stop, shoot that Edgerrin Cooper does so well. But he does cover pretty well down the field. If Dak tries to stretch vertically down the seam with Jake Ferguson, which is probably going to be one of his top targets. I think he was targeted 14 times. I think it was last week alone, targeted 14 times, caught 13 of those targets, I believe, unless that was a total season stat that they wrote out there. George Pickens, not so concerned about him. I just like to see us play a little less man coverage, maybe a little more zone coverage because Dak will scramble if need be. You didn't really worry about that with Joe Flacco last week, so they rolled out a lot of man coverage. You guys know I'm very, very much more of a fan of zone coverage than man. But, yeah, I'm with you, man. Cooper and both Quay, I think vertically, I'm not overly concerned about Jake Ferguson. You just got to be aware of it for sure. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to, like I said, give you guys a quick little update on what the national media was saying. Stephen A. Smith, obviously Mad Dog Russo went on a rant, and it was cool to hear Micah Parsons and how he's approaching this game. I love that he's just kind of keeping it even kill, keeping it close to the vest. Go out there and make them and make them miss you, Micah, right? That's the thing. Keep your mouth shut and make them miss you. You know how it is, guys. You guys been through breakups before, right? And when you get dumped on your head out of a relationship, what's the first thing you want to do? Boy, I'm getting that revenge body, and I'm going to make sure that the next time I run into them, they're going to go, what the hell was I thinking letting that go? That's how that's how I want Jerry Jones to be after this game. But again, any given Sunday, anything can happen. Really like the Packers' chances. Let me know in the comments what you think about this matchup. We'll see you guys tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. So make sure you like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live for our live stream tonight. And any other time we go randomly live during the afternoon. That's why the chat's full in here right now. They got that notification, so make sure you don't miss out on the future content. Appreciate all the support. We'll see y'all tonight.
There we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.